back, everyone, to episode 41 of Squad Pod. We are down a member, as
once again,
almost usual.
2 episodes into the second season of Squad Pod, and Alex already gone.
With another tummy ache.
I was sleeping. I woke from the dead, and I'm here.
What?
He made it. We gotta send Alex some Pepto and some Tums, though.
Alex, yeah, we gotta send him a care package.
Oh man. So, how are you guys doing tonight? Are you guys feeling good? How was Squad Pod Sports?
Squad Pod Sports had a great episode yesterday covering the NFL schedules that came out for each team. Talked about that a lot.
Okay.
We covered a lot, NHL playoffs coming up, and Vern talked about the NBA hot and knots before they go into the playoffs. A lot of good stuff.
All right.
I'm glad we postponed it from Tuesday to Wednesday because the schedule came out, and that was a big part of the show.
Yeah, the schedule came out Wednesday when we normally shoot on Tuesday. So
yeah, that would have sucked.
We kind of pushed it back today, so that worked out.
That's one thing that does kind of stink with like sports news. Like there is a lot of news that kind of comes out every day, and with you guys shooting the podcast on Wednesday at the latest, but like the first games, at least for football season, start on Thursdays. It does kind of.
Yeah, that's why we based our whole recording and release schedule off of the football season.
Yeah,
because Tuesdays we record. Usually by that point you have Thursday, Sunday, and Monday games are all played.
Mm-hmm.
So Tuesday we wrap it all up.
Yeah,
Thursday,
talk about all the games.
Right. Thursday is usually when it was dropping, but then you predict the next week as well.
That's the great thing about football, man, because that's like we're literally all we would do for like half the episode is just the breakdowns of the games and then predictions for the next week.
Mm-hmm.
There's a formula.
So, even because I'd be scrounging through Twitter every day, like even on slow weeks, I'm finding some sort of news. So, I'm finding something to talk about. So, it ends up working out. So if you haven't watched that episode and if you're interested in sports, definitely check out the latest episode of Squad Pod Sports.
Yeah, and the Mortal Kombat review that just dropped.
And the Cinema Trip reviews, Mortal Kombat review just dropped too. And go check out the King Kong versus Godzilla one too.
Mm-hmm.
We definitely got some more stuff in the works. Me and Evan are actually working on Audio Trip's first episode. Yeah. We're going to be doing that here soon.
Actually,
so stay tuned.
We'll talk about that. I might be able to do that here very soon. So
are you trying to drop every Wednesday, Wyatt?
I was just kind of gonna take it, as I come out with them,
one
just
Wednesday at a time.
Yeah, because I think the next one is going to be me and Evan's Audio Trip review, and then we'll go from there and see what else we want to do. But I figured we would already have one recorded by the time I released that one with Evan. So we need to brainstorm on what movie we want to review. If we're doing Snyder Cut still, we can do that as well. But we definitely Tenet. I will totally rewatch Tenet because
I just watched it for the first time the other day, and I was like, I watched it 4 or 5 times. I didn't watch the whole movie 4 or 5 times, but like I kept falling asleep at the end. You know me, bro. You know me, dude. Like I'll make it. If it's a 2.5 hour movie, I'll make it 2 hours and 15 minutes, and I'll fall asleep. But like, I'm passed out, so I keep going and I keep watching it from parts that I've seen before, like just kind of like making sure. So I've rewatched it a good like 3 or 4 times already, and I'm still confused.
As soon as I watched it like a couple months ago, and man, I just remember after I watched it, I even said like I need to rewatch that shit again. Like there's like I literally had to watch like a 25-minute YouTube video explaining the goddamn movie.
Yeah.
So I feel like when we do a review, I'm gonna have to have like a chart or a diagram to like explain the damn movie because it's so complicated.
It is so complicated, bro. But like,
I feel like you need a PhD to watch it.
Is it like, do you need an Alt-Shift-X video after the movie?
For real. For real. You do.
Honest, Wyatt, I did the same thing. You can even ask my girl, like as soon as we finished the movie, I closed HBO Max, pulled up YouTube, typed in Tenet Explained, and I watched, it was like a 10 or 15 minute video on the ending, just trying to explain it to my dumb ass. You know what I mean? A little bit better. And I still kind of confused. So like, I'm definitely, but like, it was a good movie. I'm glad. I've been wanting to see it for so long.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't get to see Dunkirk, Christopher Nolan's last movie,
or
but
1918.
That's
not
that him too as well.
No, but he reminded me of it.
Well, yeah, I haven't seen that one either. So I know that one's like, it's set up where it's like one long shot through like the whole movie. Yeah,
we have a ton of movies we could do, man.
Ton of movies. That's what I'm saying. Like, we need to just like make a list. Like, I'll see it. Like, I'll maybe have each of us make a list of like, of course, albums, but movies as well to review for each of us. So then like we could all hop on if we've all seen it, or whoever. We could just do 2 people as well. But I would love to do as many movies as possible, man. Because I mean, I don't have any set schedule. I figured it would either be, if we have them backloaded, maybe release like one a week, if not one every other week or something, you know?
Okay. That's what I mean. Yeah, it's my question right there.
Yeah. So, I mean, it just depends on how fast we can get them recorded and how fast. I'm a little better at editing them now that I got 2 under my belt. It's a little easier. And especially now that I'm recording them from my laptop straight from OBS, it's a little easier to slap on.
Right. Because it's all right there. You just have to put it together.
Exactly.
And just figure out, like, because today I had the most trouble, bro. It was just something simple, but like, you know how I use the Skype audio.
Yeah.
I downloaded the Skype audio file. I'm like halfway through editing the sports video today, and like, there's no audio out of nowhere. Like, Wyatt's laughing. He's like, ha ha ha. And I'm like, oh my God. And I'm skipping through. I'm like an hour into the video, edited, you know what I mean? With it. And I'm just like, oh my God. And I go and re-download the original Skype file. And I go and I cut it and I put it in, and then still no audio in the whole second half of the video. I'm like,
bro, I feel like I get in a trance when I'm editing. Like, I'll have something on in the background, like on YouTube, just playing. And I'll have like one earphone in, and I'm just like, yeah. Okay.
Man, I feel like I can't have nothing on in the background because I'm like trying to listen to what's said. You know what I mean? Like,
well, yeah. I mean, it's more as just like white noise at that point, just like so the room's not silent and I'm just hearing something through a. I don't know. I don't know. It's
dude. Time flies.
Like, I need to have something else going on in the background. But I mean, I'm getting better at it, you know.
Once you start running into more issues,
like, I'm sure I will.
Texting Evan, like, why don't I have audio? What the fuck?
I'm trying to figure out
before you got.
I'm trying to figure out audio issues right now because for some reason on the Mortal Kombat review, I even said when I posted it, the audio will be fixed on the next one. For some reason, only my audio is like on the left side most of the time.
Flip your phone over.
What?
Pull up the video and flip your phone over, and you'll be able to hear it.
Well, it's not even. No, I'm talking about just like whenever I'm listening with headphones too.
What? Just say.
Because like even whenever like if I pull up this high, my voice will be super low on the right side. But then
on my phone, whenever you said that shit, I pulled it up, and it was only the volume was only coming out of the top speaker, out of this tiny little one. Oh, your audio was only coming out of this tiny little one.
Because it's probably in stereo.
My phone.
That's what I need to switch that shit to mono, like what me and Evan were talking about.
I flipped my phone, and your voice was perfectly fine.
Because it's coming out of two speakers.
I was listening to it in earbuds, and
you had one out.
I told him, I was like, Wyatt, your audio is really low. Well, I was putting Gracie to sleep, and I only had one earbud in. So when I put the other one in, it was perfect.
And that's the same thing that I was doing with my headphones. So
what's your phone doing, Vernon? So like your one speaker is pushing through both of them.
It makes sense. I mean, that shit's in stereo, and I mean, it's set up where like most of the audio is coming out one side. I just have to switch that shit to mono, so it's just.
I was going to say, Wyatt, even, I mean, obviously it's already posted now, so it's whatever.
It's already posted, so I mean, y'all gonna have to deal with it.
Even if
just flip your phone. Ain't that big of a deal. That's what I'm trying to tell these motherfuckers. Stop complaining. If you complaining, I'm sorry. Okay? We're trying to learn. Okay? Chill out, man. Okay? Relax.
Second episode.
That's what I'm trying to tell them is like, it ain't that big of a deal, man. It sounds.
I'm not making a. I was just saying it's something I want to like fix. Mm-hmm. I want to get
absolutely, but
yeah,
flip your phone. Flip your phone. But I like it. I mean, it's good, man. I like how you. I loved how you put all them pictures up. Like
I figured it out. I figured it out.
You know how to do a dynamic zoom and all, like how, like so it's like kind of like it just kind of. I don't know. I think it looks a little bit crisper. That's what I use for the Squad Pod Sports. Like whenever I have pictures up, but like
I feel like I learn something every time I go to edit. I figured out how to blend, like, especially like with the intro, how it faded into like the Mortal Kombat title and then faded straight into the episode. I figured that out this time. So, I mean, I'm figuring it out a little bit at a time. I mean, I did the images a little better on this one than the last one. I was able to actually kind of zoom in on them and make them cover the screen most of the time and kind of make them look better. So, I mean, it's a work in progress. I gotta just, learn the ways of DaVinci at this point.
Yeah, man, I wish we were working on something else like those two, but like, I just don't, I don't have it.
I have heard amazing things about DaVinci. Honestly, I've been interested in just trying it just for the sake of trying something different. Not that I think I would use it, but just to see what it's like, because it seems like it's really good for a free product. Like from what I've heard and what you guys have said,
years, bro.
Yeah,
like I was using it back when we were recording music. That's how long I've been using DaVinci.
I wish that was out when I was making like RuneScape videos back in like high school. Man,
we're on DaVinci 16, man. Well, 17.
Man. I was using Sony Vegas totally legitimately back then.
Yeah,
back on like Windows Vista.
I made a few in Windows Movie Maker. Not gonna lie.
Movie Maker was the shit too when I was like 13.
It wasn't even that bad.
Bro, we've been trying to make, like, you know what I think about when I think about us as a friend group? We've been trying to make it in some way since we were little. Like, you know what I mean? Like, whether we were like making stupid videos or like, we've been trying to fucking do shit like that forever now, bro.
We have had a camera with us since we were like 11.
Right,
like,
bro. Like,
someone has had a camera with them. There is
making the videos.
We actually we just got Brittany's parents had a camcorder that could play those old like high 8 tapes that I used to record with.
Oh, nice.
We don't have a charger for it, so we're actually looking. I don't know if she ordered it or was going to. She shook her head no. We're going to order a charger for it, and then I can rewatch now all of those old ass videos from when we were like 12 to like 15ish. Like,
you have to find a way to like transfer them to like your computer.
Oh, we'll find a way.
I want to see them so bad, dude. Because like I only have like
Squad Pod lost tapes
of what happened in my head. You know,
that
what
could
I mean?
Be just like little clips you put up on YouTube, like the lost tapes.
I want to just say, and Vernon, I think you know what this is. We had a motion picture that we were working on. It was going to be huge, honestly.
It was.
It really was. But
talk about the tree.
I'm talking about I was talking about the non-Rev movie.
Yeah, like the training scene.
There was the scene with Alex, and I wish he was here for this. There was a scene with Alex that. Why, do you have any idea what we're talking about?
I don't believe so.
So
I do not believe so.
We had a movie idea that was definitely not just Dragon Ball and Inuyasha and every anime that searches for something mixed together. So pretty much non-Rev, which was Vernon spelled backwards. He was the main character. Anyway, okay. I don't even remember what the whole premise of it was, but anyway, Alex was the bad guy. All right. So there was a scene where they had their first fight, and I had a tube of fake blood. All right. And I remember Alex, I forget, he had this like, I don't even know, was it like a He-Man sword or like, it was like some skeleton sword, but they were fighting with it. But there was this like,
stick.
There was a stick. Where did that come from?
I remember Alex threw a car at me, bro.
He did. That was in the same one. But anyway, there was like this scene though that Alex and Vernon, they were doing their fight, and of course there was nothing planned, so they were just like whacking each other. But there was a scene where Alex went to like go and he rolled on the ground and Vernon like jumped over him. And I know I have this on camera somewhere.
It was a badass.
But then I remember Vernon did something to Alex and he like flew to the side of my house and I was like recording him and he's like, I'm out. And none of it was cut out.
Mid take.
He's like, I'm out. Like,
I thought you were going to talk about the one scene where we're traded. With Bree.
Yeah.
Okay, we're traded. Evan's got the camera fixated on me. And like they used to have these old like Christmas trees back there, like the pine trees.
I do remember that.
Like, I remember like I was supposed to pick one up and that was my trade-in. It was like,
I do remember this
pine tree. And I'm like because I'm like getting all poked and stuff, and I'm like,
yeah.
I'm just like, I like pick it up, and I just lift it up, you know what I mean? And then like Evan pans over the camera, and Bree's sitting there with one of the pine trees, just like holding this shit up, and I'm like, it's like, I'll never forget that shit, bro, because I just remember Evan busted up laughing because she's just like holding this whole ass tree up, and I'm like, just like trying to struggle to victim, but like we both look over at her at the same time. Like, oh my god!
I think it was funny because I mean, well, I think it was in that same clip that you two were fighting or training or whatever, and I remember having a thing of fake blood, and I don't know if it was them or you, but one of you guys put the blood on your leg. And it like scraped the grass and it actually looked real. Like it actually looked like their leg was cut and it was like blood running down their leg. It's so lame.
Bro, it was a major motion picture. And that's why I wish we could get the file.
We have had our hands in like everything as we've grown up. Like that, you guys have that.
Oh,
Me and Alex have like been in the middle of writing a Batman graphic novel. We've already had a music career. We've had a mixtape. I mean, me and Vern were writing a like novel / like sci-fi novel / TV show for a minute.
That I put a pause on that for a minute. Okay, just because one, I forgot most of what I wanted to do. Okay, with the story.
That's why we took notes. You have to find the notes.
Okay, we'll find the notes. But yeah, that's gotta wait until we got a little bit more time.
And then I have all those ideas for that movie that me and Evan are kind of coming at that horror movie.
The horror comedy.
The horror
actually make a movie. Not just a home camera movie.
Start writing that. I mean, that I do eventually want to do. That would be amazing.
Oh my god, that.
But, man, we've been over the years. We've been trying to like get into everything. Of course, the podcast. We got a sports podcast, regular podcast, reviews. We try to do everything, man.
Little stuff. I wish I could make more shorter things because I loved making tutorials
skits
of things.
Like, I would like to do skits and stuff. That'd be cool shit.
That'd be awesome. I mean, I would like. I don't know if I'd be good at acting in them, but I'd definitely be good with like every other aspect of it. Like I'd be down with it.
Tutorials would be good videos.
Tutorials. I love making tutorials. I know with like my RuneScape video, I actually have a video still on YouTube that has like 100,000 views, and it was
damn.
Yeah, it's a RuneScape video. It's old as hell, but yeah, it has like.
Should go on there, and if it's still getting views, be like, hey, go check out.
I don't know if it's still getting views. But yeah, I had a couple. There was one has like 20,000. Yeah, there was a good bit, but you know, I had like 1.8K subs back in like my prime with my RuneScape videos. Yeah,
but still,
they want.
Exactly, that's what I mean. Giving people what they want. People are coming for it.
I loved it. Yeah, I had like people coming in my clan chat and stuff. It was great. The one person I'm friends with on Instagram.
That's dope. That was probably like the best time you could have gotten like on YouTube to start uploading videos too. That wasn't like it is now where like everybody is uploading videos and doing something on you. You can look up pretty much everything on YouTube. It's there.
Yeah, I really not wish that I kept doing RuneScape videos, but I do wish I would have kept doing something, because at least with that channel, you know, to keep like something going. I mean, even if it would have dropped half the viewers, you know, my mistake was I actually switched to the channel that I use now for my other stuff. I switched it because I didn't want to just be a RuneScape channel. And like 50 people came over and that was it. So like I think I have like 68 subscribers right now, and that's all from them back in like 2013 or 12 or whatever. So
damn.
But yeah, man, that was good stuff. We've had our hands in a lot of things, but
and I'm sure we'll have our hands in a lot more things going forward.
We got to dip our toes in now. We got to get our hands out and dip our toes in.
Yeah, to get up to waist deep.
To our waist.
We're going to post the video of us skydiving.
That'd be cool.
I was just trying to be super bold and see what you guys' reaction would be.
That would be cool.
I call dibs on the camera.
Oh, but you're going to do it?
Oh, I mean, like recording from the ground, like looking at you guys.
What?
No, you gotta jump with us and hold the selfie stick.
Yes. We're all gonna be like,
one of us, at least one of us, is just gonna be,
dude,
just passed out. Like they gonna jump.
It's gonna be Alex. He's gonna look like he's passed out, and then like we're gonna think he's like asleep in midair, and then he's just gonna be like, pull his parachute.
No, he's down because we almost did this shit in Florida.
Yeah, we almost did it in Key West.
I am terrified of heights. Like absolutely terrified.
Hey, listen, I understand, man, because if you guys were all like, hey, let's go like jump in a snake pit, I'd be like,
nope.
Hey, man.
Let's go pet a snake.
This is like that scenario. Like if your friends were to tell you to jump off a bridge, would you do it? Well, if I'm like in the plane with you guys already.
They just ask you to jump out of a plane, man.
Yeah, man. I'm asking you to jump higher than a bridge.
Like, friends, like, what kind of friend do you think I am?
I think I'm scared more of bungee jumping than I am of.
Absolutely. I think I would rather
parachute.
I think I'd rather skydive than parachute. Or
yeah, I'd rather.
I think I'd rather skydive than bungee jump.
Bungee jump. Yeah, I don't know. That's just.
I think I trust a parachute more than a rubber cord. Like,
I'd be on like we would be on front of someone's like attached to somebody that's actually controlling everything. Exactly. Bungee jump, you just go it. You have to jump off that bridge.
I feel like if you're skydiving and things go wrong, you know you're gonna die. But like if you
bungeeing, you're like
you got a chance. Like I could either die or I'm gonna end up being mangled for the rest of my life. Like it's not gonna end well at all. Like But I think if it was gonna, I don't know. Like
imagine surviving jumping out of a plane, hitting the ground, being like.
I mean, there's people that have survived plane crashes. Like that alone is crazy. Like, there's people that have survived plane crashes. Like that's crazy in itself.
I've seen like videos of just people parachuting down and landing the wrong way. They're just like,
as you're parachuting down, I mean, you're coming down fast. You gotta have like a running start. If you let your ankle slam into the ground, you're just gonna fall.
Just because I'm laughing, but it's funny when you watch it because it's just like I don't know. For some reason, those videos are funny to me. But
you know what's crazy?
It's only funny until it happens to you.
I was actually just watching the other day. I haven't seen it in so long. I watched the I forget the guy's name and I feel bad for forgetting it. But the jump from space, the free fall.
Oh, like the Red Bull stuff?
Yeah, I feel bad for forgetting the actual guy's name that did it. But I was just like, could you imagine being like walking around doing whatever you're doing on a normal day and you can be like, I jumped from space. Like, like I jumped out of a balloon from space.
I can't imagine how crazy that would feel, dude. Just like free falling and you're just looking around.
Well,
the Earth, and you just see the Earth. Like you ain't even in that Earth's atmosphere yet.
No, like you gotta like. I mean, if you see the video, there's a point where he starts like spiraling and he has to like regain control of it. Could you imagine being in like you're helpless against the air and gravity and the ground.
Like shit. Oh, all right.
That would be if we were doing that, that'd be NASA's like mission control. You just hear this shit. Have to be like, Wyatt, calm down.
Breathe. That's some crazy shit, bro.
It is, dude.
Free fall from 128,000 feet up.
Yeah, and he had an oxygen tank, and he had to disconnect it, so he only had like 10 minutes of oxygen. So he had to get down to the ground.
And then it's crazy that it took him 10 minutes to fall.
Mm-hmm. It took him
falling for 10 minutes.
You know, it's funny, like when you listen to it, like he goes out on the ledge and he's like, "I'm going home," and he like salutes and he just drops.
And then last
gives
year,
me chills.
Dave and Blaine fly up to space on a like lawn chair with balloons.
That's right.
He just had his arm tied to it.
Oh yeah, he was just holding on to them, but that's what it was. That motherfucker, he was just holding on. See you later. See you. And then got to space and just free fall, just drop parachute down.
Oh.
That's some wild shit, man. I'm sitting here watching this free fall, like him just standing at the edge, and you could just see the Earth, the entire globe underneath you, and you're just like he just jumps.
You can't I don't know. I just feel like you couldn't back down if you got to that point. Like, I feel like, I mean, that's obviously.
I changed my mind, guys. I don't want to do this anymore.
That would be the apex of my life, you know. Like, if there are not many people in this world that get to see the world from a view like that. Like, I feel like at that point I would just be like, well, what's going to happen is going to happen, and I got to experience this that no one else got to see before. If I'm going to go, that's the way to go. Man. But I'm glad he didn't go. I'm glad he made it. So, and he stuck the landing too like a champ.
It took him like 12 minutes to fall.
Yeah.
That's wild, bro.
Yeah, he had like a full spacesuit. Yeah. I mean,
it would have taken him longer, but his balls of steel made him go down faster.
Yeah, that is definitely something. I don't think I would ever do it, but
no, I wouldn't do that. That'd be crazy, bro. I would go to space, and if I'm in the space shuttle, well, I don't know about jumping from like free fall at 12 minutes.
Yeah, I ain't gonna be jumping free falling from space, but I'll go to space.
I'd go to space.
I would love to go to space. That would be a dream. Like,
it'd be awesome, man.
That, I don't know. I just think that would be the most humbling experience of. I mean, I don't know. I feel like that'd be the most humbling experience for anyone's life. Just look down on like 8 billion people.
Just how small we really are.
Like, we are a speck. Like, I love that picture of Saturn when it's like looking back at Earth, and it's like this blue pixel on the screen, and it's like you were there in that blue pixel somewhere. Like
that picture, the one that's called like the mote of dust. You know what I mean? Where it's just got that light beam and you see the Earth. It's just that little speck of dust, like from the Voyager, I think that is. It turned around and took a picture of us. Is that what you're talking about?
I don't know if that's the exact one, dude, but I know it was like it took a picture. It was like the rings of Saturn, and like it was either in between or right beside it. There was just this little blue dot in the sky, and that was Earth. Like,
okay,
we stand out like a sore thumb.
Head towards that blue dot.
Do you want to hear something crazy? I was watching I think it was a Vsauce video, because I get sucked into those every once in a while. But like, color doesn't actually exist in terms of spectrum. Yeah, color is just a spectrum of light, and our eyes have adapted to see it. Like
the sun is white.
Yeah,
everything is subjective to the species.
It's either it ranges from white, which is every color, to black, which is nothing, pretty much no color.
And that's just the spectrum. Like, there's just this little tiny
eyes see. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, there are things that can see radio waves and things that can see, radio waves. What did I say? Is that what I said?
Yes.
I think it said radio waves.
They could see they can see AM and FM.
There's things that could see radiation. There's things that could see air and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I completely know what you mean.
There's colors that we will never be able to comprehend. Like, we can't, because we can't see them. We only have this little tiny spectrum of light that we're allowed to see for whatever reason.
We evolved to
and some of us aren't even allowed to see all of them, which is some BS.
You know what I think about?
Evan, you got gypped.
Yeah, you did get kind of gypped, but that's all right, man.
No, it's all good. I can see the colors.
What you can see.
How are people going to be evolving in the next million years? Like, what kind of traits and characteristics is the typical human going to have in a million years? Like,
we might be able to see more. You know, you never know. We could, if
we don't develop some kind of like telepathy type shit.
What's my main question is, like, what's the next, like you know how sense, touch, feeling, like you're saying telepathy.
The only reason I say that is because, like, not only do we have like deja vu type shit, but like there's been times where Vern can attest to this over the years that we've known each other. I would say something that you were just about to say, or I go to do something and you already, like, you know, like, I don't know, just because, like, we've been close.
It's a spidey sense. Everyone's got it. Like,
me and Wyatt are on the same fucking grave. Like, I feel like there's times we've been like completely separated from each other and we are still on the same brain. Like, the one time, dude, this is the most recent case of it. Okay. I have not thought about Dragon Ball Z cards in probably 15 years.
Yeah.
Like, I have literally not even thought about Dragon Ball Z cards for 15 years. Okay. I go pick up Kai from his mom's the one day, and I'm driving back and I bring it up to him randomly. I'm like, Kai, you know what? I used to collect Dragon Ball Z cards back in the day too. I used to have a ton of them, and we're having a conversation about Dragon Ball Z cards on the way home. I get home. In my house, in my room, is sitting a tin of Dragon Ball Z cards that Wyatt came home and just so happened to drop off that day.
Yeah. I was going through some stuff, and I was like, I wonder if Kyrie would want these. And I didn't even tell Vern. I just went in and sat it in his room, bro.
That's the wildest part to me, because when I got home, all of that went through my head. Is like,
what? That is crazy.
That's happened numerous times.
But that's like a small example of it.
That's a small example, but like, that's the only reason I say about like that kind of stuff, because like it's happened with me and Alex before too, where like we would do that type of shit. Where
or like me and my girl, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Like
me and Annette, it's just
a thing where you're with somebody so much where you just start like what's it's like a weird sense.
Where you actually literally start clicking and you're on the same, like what you said, the same wavelength type thing.
It's weird shit. I don't know how to explain it, but like. That's more or less what I mean. Like, what else? What other senses are people going to be developing? Humans will say developing over the next.
This is completely off topic, but somewhat on topic because it doesn't really pertain to us. But it's kind of the same when you get like a ton of women like that's like stay with each other for a while.
Yeah,
their periods sync. It's like, how does that happen? How does that even happen?
That's nature.
It's kind of the same thing where like just with brains. You know, I mean, that's probably what happens in the same, like, possible, like, maybe that's how it happens too. But hey, what's it going to be like in the future? I feel like that's just going to be even like stronger.
I'm gonna say something.
Head's going to be bigger.
I mean, I was going to say, like, on the opposite spectrum, like, it seems like as we get more advanced in society, like we're starting to lose a lot of like the primal things we need, and we're kind of advancing to more like the knowledge thing. So like, yeah, our heads might get bigger to support, big brains. Most of them still might be smooth, but at least like they're bigger. So like, but
useless information stored in them. But
yeah, like we don't need to have giant arms and legs anymore. We might, I don't know, maybe we'll become like. Just big brains. I mean, just big heads, big floating heads, like in Rick and Morty. That's what we'll become. But I don't know.
I mean, if you got to think, like over the course of like all the past 100 years or so, I mean, you can kind of see where it's already kind of taken a turn. Where I don't know, like
we've gotten taller overall. I don't know what that's about. But
I don't know how to say it, but like I feel like our brains would get better, but I feel like as people we might get weaker. So I feel like we're not
gonna have a lot of motherfuckers working from home.
Well, but I feel like because of technology and everything, it's not like we're in the past or whatever. You had to do everything by hand. You had to build everything. You had to do this and that. So I mean, now it's a lot easier for lots of folks when they're working. So I mean, in the future, who knows? I feel like you might not see a ton of like big dudes, or like that might go away. Big brains,
big
small muscles,
lots of
big trucks,
big Amazon trucks,
big ass truck. But I think about dolphins in the sense of the conversation we're having. Like, dolphins have been around forever. You know what I mean? For a long ass time. So they've had the time to develop the sonar that they use. Yeah. Like, which is wild. Like,
dude, we should get sonar.
That's what I mean. Like, what if that's next? What if we get sonar? What if we get like, oh shit, that's the DLC. You get sonar. You know what I mean?
Could you imagine if we could communicate to people without actually making noise? Like, dude, it would go so bad. I hope that doesn't happen.
Pretty much, we invented our own sonar with text messaging.
All the harassment that would happen with people, like people would ruin it. Like, we finally get something cool, and people would be like, I'm gonna tell that girl something. Your friend's like, no, don't. Like, I'm gonna do it.
Like, you're gonna do like Inception, and you're gonna plant the idea in someone's brain.
These people,
shit.
That's why we're not gonna evolve to get sonar.
I feel like we could evolve like a spidey sense, because we already have, like, whenever something's going on, there's times where like you get in a certain situation and you get a gut feel where you're like, all right, something's gonna be like something bad's gonna happen, or I shouldn't do this. I feel like that's a possibility.
Want some real talk? Like, if we develop another sense, like we define a new sense, whatever that is that you're talking about, I feel like that's going to be it, because I don't know if it's the sense of awareness or the sense of like, dude, I don't know, but you're right. Like, if someone were to be looking at me through this window and I couldn't see it there, I feel like I would know, like you always have that feeling of like,
it's like, even whenever people are sleeping, sometimes they wake up and they're like, I feel like something was like watching me, or it's like you get a feeling something's going on. Yeah.
Like something's up.
Yeah. It's like, well, I guess we talked about this in another episode, but also, you have like the dad reflexes, the ultra instinct, like, I feel like that kind of falls under the same umbrella, like you just know something is going wrong and I need to react now. Like, I don't know if it's like a survival instinct.
I mean, it's like the classic story of like the woman like lifting the car off her kid, like the adrenaline. Like,
your body just has this instinct to just do something, and you don't know what it is. You don't know. You're in danger, or something's
just gonna keep getting more enhanced.
And then technology is just gonna make it even more advanced.
Imagine what sports are gonna be like
robot sports.
Robot sports, or like
that's what I'm picturing, bro. It's gonna be football, but robots, and everything's gonna be robots in the future.
It's gonna be wild, because they're gonna be able to jump super high and do some wild stuff.
And Tom Brady.
Tom Brady, yeah.
Tom Brady will still be playing with the robots.
Quarterback in the league.
Bro, this dude, Tom Brady, I just don't understand it. Like, I just don't understand it. How, like, if Julian Edelman goes to Tampa Bay, I know we're switching gears here a little bit, but like, if Julian Edelman comes out of retirement and goes to Tampa Bay, I'm going to be so upset. I'm not going to be okay.
You should watch Pat McAfee's show today.
I did.
With Julian Edelman?
Yeah.
Oh.
I did. Oh, God.
I don't know. He sounds like he's not coming back.
I'm just worried
about it. That's what they all
say. Still a topic. Like, that's what.
Oh, yeah.
Gronk was retired for a year. Tim Tebow was retired for 8 years, and he's back. You know what I mean? Like,
didn't he only play like 2 years? Or something?
Tim Tebow? No, he played a couple years. Like
Tim Tebow.
Like 2 or 3. It wasn't a lot.
I saw this post about Tim Tebow. They're like, Tim Tebow played with Aaron Hernandez in college, won a national championship, joined the NFL, became a pastor, won a playoff game, quit the NFL,
played baseball,
became I can't even say it, analyst. You know what I mean? An analyst or whatever the fuck. for a couple years, played baseball, and then came back to play a tight end for Jaguars. Like, that shit is wild. Like, his documentary is going to be crazy.
It's just going to be like called The Blessed One or something, something like that.
It's going to be Tebow sitting there doing
the Tebow.
Oh, my God.
That's all it's going to be. Eye roll. Like, yeah, I'm going to watch this.
I'll watch that shit.
That's funny. I remember the T-bowing. That was like high school, like right after high school.
Yeah,
that was that long ago.
Then they came up with Brady and remember Brady and when he was sitting on his ass all sad before he came out and won 4 more Super Bowls. Remember that? I remember. Motherfuckers
that
like,
picture's classic.
He's done. He's fucking done. Look at him. Lost to Eli twice. You piece of shit. 4 more Super Bowl. All right, I'm done. I don't know how we even got on that topic. You guys brought up Tom Brady, got me all fucking hyped up.
I do have another thing like to talk about, just because it was kind of a news in the music world. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame class has been revealed for 2021. All the musicians that are being inducted.
Okay.
And one of my favorite bands is being inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The Foo Fighters are going to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Okay.
And then this is a surprise. You may not know this, but Jay-Z is getting inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this year too.
What?
Jay-Z, Foo Fighters, Jay-Z, the Go-Go's, Tina Turner, Carole King, and Todd Rundgren.
The Go-Go's weren't already?
The Go-Go's are going in. Yeah, they weren't in already.
Interesting.
And apparently LL Cool J, Billy Preston, and Randy Rhoads will each be honored with Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Musical Excellence Award.
Do they usually let rappers in?
Yeah, I think Run DMC just got inducted last year or the year before.
Okay. But like,
I think NWA's in there as well.
It's not really. They're using the term loosely. Is it because it's not a hip hop Hall of Fame?
Kinda,
because like Run DMC kind of makes sense in a way.
Because like that's dope. It's just like.
Yeah, it kind of is like,
I feel like there's other people that were probably more deserving in the genre. Yeah, like Jay-Z deserves to be in whatever Hall of Fame, but like
here's the list. This is rappers in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Okay.
LL Cool J, Tupac, Eminem is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame already. Somehow Eminem's in before Jay-Z, and Jay-Z was around before Eminem.
Well, that's because Eminem fucking great.
Grandmaster Flash, Chuck D and Public Enemy, Snoop Dogg, the Beastie Boys, and that's it. It ends with the Beastie Boys. I think they just got inducted here the last year or so too. But Run DMC was also.
That's dope that Jay-Z's in. I hope I never see a little anything other than maybe Lil Wayne.
A little anything.
I don't want to see a little anything ever or a young anything ever inducted to the Rock
I could see Lil Wayne though. I mean,
Lil Wayne is the only exception.
I could see.
Because he actually has played rock music. Like he actually has made it. Like,
But I could see like maybe Nas going in eventually, or Biggie if Biggie has it. I mean, Biggie wasn't on the list. Biggie probably should be.
Biggie for sure.
But maybe an interesting fact.
Like, a Busta Rhymes or DMX,
like Tribe Called Quest, or like Wyclef or someone like that,
Andre,
Outkast, definitely.
That's the type of people I want to see in there. I don't want to see no fucking Lil Baby. I love Lil Baby. Don't get me wrong. I'll fuck with Lil Baby, but I want to see you in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
That's why there's only like that short list of rappers that are in there as of right now.
I also don't want to see no like little garage band in there either. Like don't get I'm like so like I'm glad they're putting Prestige in there. That's dope.
Yeah, I mean, I think the big thing this year was Rage Against the Machine didn't go in. Rush I don't think has been inducted yet, which is pretty odd. Rush.
So that's like the controversy there.
Yeah, like exactly. Because everybody was actually kind of expecting Rage Against the Machine to go in this year, and they got snubbed. But an interesting fact about this class, oh shit, I lost it. I have to bring it back up. Dave Grohl, Tina Turner, and Carole King, who are being inducted, have already been inducted before
for other like bands.
Dave Grohl was inducted because Nirvana is in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So this is the second time
That's awesome. Dave Grohl deserves to be inducted as many times as he fucking wishes. You know what I mean? Like, he's been in so many things.
Yeah, Tina Turner. King was previously inducted along with her former songwriting partner Gary Goffin. Let me see here. As a non-performer, Tina Turner entered in 1991 as half of Ike and Tina Turner, from when they were popular together, and then of course Dave Grohl with Nirvana.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, man, that's pretty cool, man.
Not just one, but like, 3. Oh, like, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah,
there.
I mean, a lot of bands have been in. I know, like Red Hot Chili Peppers just got inducted a couple years ago as well.
Nice.
But I mean, it's something that's kind of. There's usually some sort of controversy every year surrounding like, oh, this person didn't make it in when they should have been or whatever. Like, I'm sure there's people out there saying that like the Foo Fighters probably don't deserve to be in there as of right now. But hey, man, I think they should.
Man.
Boo them.
Bro, boo whoever don't think the Foo Fighters should be. And like, I don't even listen to a ton of them, but every time I do, they give me this crazy ass feeling, dude. Like that feeling you get when you genuinely are enjoying music. I just don't know how to explain it to you, but like every single time I listen to the Foo Fighters, it gives me a good ass feeling. I just fucking love it. And I think about Dave Grohl, and it makes me think about all the awesome stuff that comes with Dave Grohl. And I don't know, I should listen to it more often, to be honest with you, but I don't listen to too much music period anymore as much as I used to.
Well, I mean, the only thing I can recommend, like, even if you don't have time to listen to much music, watch some of the documentaries he's made.
Yeah,
it's very interesting. Like, they have it's called Back and Forth, where it's like half the movie is like the history of the Foo Fighters, and it's directed by Dave Grohl, and then the other half is kind of like the making of Wasting Light, the record that came out at the time. But man, that whole first half of the movie is really interesting, where he talks about like how he used to get so much shit and booed at shows when he first came up with the Foo Fighters, because they were like, oh, you're that fucking guy from Nirvana. Like, you just trying to like ride Kurt's coattails, or like you just trying to like get famous because you were that dude in Nirvana or whatever. And he's like, he stuck with it. And he like that whole
he was just Foo that Fighters dude in Nirvana. Album, like, yeah, it's like a part of the band. Like,
but like he even talks about it. It's crazy because literally the whole first Foo Fighters album is only Dave Grohl. He recorded every single part of that album by himself. And that's the Foo Fighters' first album, which is wild, man. Like, that's crazy.
Wait,
he went
so
in there.
He was the band?
Yeah, like he went in and recorded every single part for that album. Like, he did everything.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So he literally started the band, and then he's like singing and shit, and he's going,
he's like, man, I need a drummer and a bassist and a guitarist.
So how the fuck do you play live shows?
He had to go get a band. He actually had to go. He knew a guitarist, Pat Smear, who's currently in the Foo Fighters, who played in Nirvana. He was like a kind of a extra guitarist that came on and played with him during live shows. He brought him on. He had a buddy that he knew from like another band that he like kind of toured with previously whenever he was younger. He brought him as like the bassist. And then, man, but like, yeah, he recorded that whole first album by himself with actually no other band members. He went and did it himself. And then he kind of went out and got the band and then started doing live shows.
He's like, hey, play this.
But I mean, and then the rest is history, dude. But like, he's had such a crazy career, and he's worked with so many artists, man. It's wild. And that's why Dave Grohl is like the savior of rock and roll right now. He's that dude. Whereas like, he's that guy to, like, that's how like our parents probably saw like, you know, like Paul McCartney or like all those like guys like Bruce Springsteen back in the day or whatever, those types of guys. Like, that's like Dave Grohl to me. Like, that's the fucking guy when it comes to rock and roll now, because he's worked with so many different artists. Like, he's had his hands in like hip hop. He's produced like hip hop stuff before. He produced like an album for Ghost before. He's played drums on all of Tenacious D's albums. He's played drums on. And he's played drums on a couple Queens of the Stone Age's albums. And like, dude, he's everywhere.
Like, it's crazy. Like, the best thing is, and someone like him deserving of an award like that. Like, you look at other kind of like prominent celebrities, and I feel like they have the same trait where it's like, they're just genuinely good like awesome people. Like look at someone like Keanu Reeves or something. Like everyone loves him. It's like the same thing with Dave Grohl. Like you just see him like during the pandemic, he's just putting shit out for no reason other than the fact
like
he just wants
everybody says it's nice guy Dave Grohl. Like they say he's the nicest fucking guy in the world. Like he's not an asshole. He seems like a genuinely super cool guy. And like he's all about supporting like, you know, music and like supporting young acts and like trying to like get them popular too. You know, it's not about just like taking care of himself and like his buddies, you know?
Yeah.
Which is really cool. And I mean, he's directing stuff. Like he's had a couple of documentaries under his belt. So I mean, go check that out as well. But kind of in the same vein of that first album, I think it was a couple years ago, he released like a 25-minute song on YouTube. And it's once again just him. And and there's not only that, but there's video where he actually had to record a video playing each instrument. And it's not even just like bass, guitar, and drums. He's doing like other shit, piano and all this other stuff. It's a 25-minute song, no lyrics. It's just instrumental, and it's amazing, dude. It's wild. And it's only him. Yeah, it's crazy.
That is crazy.
But, yeah,
like just to have that much talent and to still be
how he does it, dude.
Really
He's like
nice
the
guy,
busiest dude in the music business.
That is crazy. I can barely play like Mary Had a Little Lamb, and this dude's playing.
I would play Smoke on the Water.
That's why, like, man, when I watch like a documentary of his where like he's talking about certain stuff or he's doing something, man, it inspires me. Where I'm like, oh, man, I feel like I should be writing something or recording something or creating something, you know?
Yeah. Dave Grohl. Let's
awesome,
have him on.
Oh man, dude, I would
should try to get Julian Edelman on the Squad Pod Sports.
I've tried. Believe me, that
right.
is one dude I have reached out to. I haven't heard anything back yet.
Maybe now he's got some free time.
Now he's got some free time. Maybe
that cat just sneezing.
I would love to talk to Dave Grohl though. But we could move on to something else. I know you had something to talk about, Evan.
I do actually. I do want to mention something. Sorry, our kitten just like freaked out on Brittany's leg. I don't know what he was doing. I was actually trying to grab him earlier to show you guys, but she's nuts. But anyway, I wanted to tell you about how I don't know if anyone listening remembers. Back in the day, I was doing like the whole like listening through rap albums.
Yeah,
and I was telling Wyatt, like I've actually been going through the used albums because I've never given them a shot. I actually
love them.
You were saying how the second album was your favorite, Wyatt.
Yeah, and Love and Death.
And
I would say like the first two albums are my favorite.
I couldn't remember the name of it. It's funny how at first when I was listening through like all of them, I'm already through. I don't remember the name of it
Imaginary
again.
Enemy.
Yeah, Imaginary Enemy. I'm not done with it yet, but I'm there now.
Not the greatest.
And I just started this week, so I'm like 4 days in. I've already gotten through.
Bro, you've been blowing
the whole catalog.
You already like 5 albums deep.
Oh yeah, I only have like 3 to go. I think it's not many.
Yeah, I actually just started re-listening to the next one you're going to listen to, The Canyon.
Okay,
dude, and you're gonna love it because I've been like, man, I need to listen to this album more. Like I started listening to it and it is so fucking good. Like I would say that's probably my third favorite used album, and it's more recent. You
like that one better than Lies for the Liars?
Oh,
yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. Man. That's my favorite.
All right,
that's
fourth.
My favorite.
I'll rank it fourth because I would say the first 3 are my favorite 3 are probably like this, like In Love and Death, The Used, the first album, and then Lies for the Liars. Second album is really good, and then The Canyon. But yeah, you said you're like on Imaginary Enemy now.
Yeah, but so at first I was like, yeah, Lies for the Liars is definitely my favorite because it's it has 3 songs I already knew on it. But
yeah,
I was telling you how I got freaking what is the song? Don't tell me. You already know what song it is, but I can't remember it right now.
Just imagine that bass riff, man.
Shit, I can't remember it now.
It's Lunacy Fringe.
Lunacy Fringe. God damn.
Yeah.
I got it in my head, but then I also was listening to what is it? All That We've Got or all that I got.
Yeah.
Oh, they're really good.
They're a really good song.
I got them like stuck in my head. Now I'm like, man, that second album might actually be my favorite so far.
It's so good, man. And then like just like I talked about it before on the podcast, like that first like Take It Away, the first track where it has like that gun, like the shotgun cock, and then it just blasts into the song. It's amazing. I love that first song.
It's funny because like those two songs that I mentioned, they kind of have an issue, not an issue, but they're very poppy, like Imaginary Enemy is, but they're not like they're not over the top. They're not cheesy poppy. You know, like they're very
like it's not even my like on Imaginary Enemy. I know. I'm sorry, Bert. We can move past this here soon. I know
you're good. You're good.
But Imaginary Enemy, it's not even like the verses I have a problem with. It's the choruses where it's like eye roll every time. I'm like, this is the most like cliche, like it's just so like it's like lazy writing to me. I feel it's just like ugh.
It's very and it's okay to have this, but every song, I told you, it's a lot like how Fall Out Boy changed from like this kind of hardcore kind of punk band to like this poppy.
I feel like it sounds like everything else that was out at that time when that came out.
Yeah.
Like it sounds like a lot of like what was it, Fun that was out at that time. There's a lot of like stuff that sounds like that where like you have like the echo like chanting like
the clapping.
Yeah, and like clapping and stuff. I'm like, oh, this does not like this is so weird for the use. I don't like it.
Yeah. It's one thing to release it, but it did not fit the
I'm saying there's a couple songs on there where I'm like, all right, this is classic used type stuff. I like them, but man, there's majority of that album is
LOVE. I saw that and I actually was like, oh, I already know why Wyatt doesn't like this album because
before I hopped on tonight, I actually went back and listened to that one and I listened to like two other ones and I'm like, I skip them now. I can't do it. But man, you're gonna really like that next one, The Canyon.
Yeah.
It's a double album, and it was recorded like how the Foo Fighters did "Wasting Light." They did it on tape, old school tape, and where you actually had to like record the song in like pretty much one sitting, like each time, and it sounds so raw. And like they actually, because I listened to an interview with Bert here recently where they're saying that like they're not playing any songs off that album anymore.
Wait,
like
what album are you talking about? Is the worst?
Imaginary
Enemy. Yeah.
It came out like 2014, I think. 2013.
Yeah, I see it here.
It's not bad. And they tried to be really like political on it too, which didn't really, it was very forced. But I mean, The Canyon, dude, it's so good.
I was looking for the LOVE.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's literally like.
Yeah.
What's like enunciated? Like it's how you would pronounce it. It's really bad.
Bro, I remember listening to Shallow Believer back in the day too.
Yeah, Shallow Believer. I told Evan that was pretty much an album of B-sides from the first two albums.
Okay, gotcha. And Artwork I remember as well. But Lies for the Liars was my favorite, and I think In Love and Death was my second favorite.
Yeah, Artwork is where a lot of people say the use fell off, which I mean I can understand that, but I like the album at the time. I still do, but man, Canyon is a whole nother beast because I mean. It was a very personal album. I guess they recorded it right after like Bert's best friend like killed himself, I guess. And I mean, the very first song is an acoustic song like about his friend. And then it kind of kicks into the album, which is like such a raw album. It has a lot of good tracks on it.
I see he made one called Heartwork as well.
That's the newest one that came out last year.
Is that anything like off of Artwork?
It's just a play off the name. But dude, it's actually a very good album. I was surprised.
Yeah, I don't remember any of these from Artwork up. I do like Artwork's the last album I've listened to from them.
Yeah, I mean that last one, Artwork, that they just came out last year, is actually really good too. I wouldn't say it's as good as The Canyon. But Heartwork is really good, and I really like Vulnerable too.
Yeah, I don't remember nothing about Vulnerable. I don't remember anything about Ocean and of the Sky.
Yeah, Ocean of the Sky is like a little 3 or 4 song EP.
I skipped the soundscape. I will say that.
I told you it's like a 15-minute song.
It's 20 minutes, I think, or 25. Yeah.
There's like no singing. It's just like different sounds.
It sounded like the episode of Friends where Ross was doing his like That's what it reminded me of. And I was like, okay.
It reminds me of like the episode of The Office with Gabe where he's like, I make like extended soundscapes.
I got like 2 minutes in. I'm like, all right, I entertained it. I'm not going through the whole thing.
I mean, I think a lot of people see the problem with the Used is like they're very poppy and they kind of like switch their sound a lot. But man, I love them. They're one of my favorite.
Last for the Liars is the best. Okay,
he's just looking at the song titles. He's like, no,
is an amazing album.
It is.
That's really good songs on it.
That's probably like the peak, like Used is Lies for the Liar because literally
That's how I was introduced. I would say
those first 3 albums, to me at least, the first 3 albums have no skippable songs to me. Like I could listen to straight through all 3 of those albums. But yeah, Lies for the Liars is probably the most complete, other than the second.
Lies for the Liars has 3 bangers right off the top.
Right off the bat.
That like.
And then that's like it ends with Smother Me, and I love that song.
Yeah.
That's like a whole different type of song.
I remember it was like it was like a year or 2 ago. Vern came home listening to the Used on his phone. I was like, what? Like I have never heard you listen to the Used since like high school.
But yeah, man, I guess what I wanted to go through is I guess what should my next adventure be through music? So I've kind of been. I did the Beatles. I didn't listen to every Beatles song, but I listened.
Went through the main albums.
Yeah, I didn't listen through albums, but I listened through like all of the hits. Like,
man,
I don't got that much time, man.
Dude, there's not many albums. I mean, there's a lot of like.
There's.
Are you looking for hip hop? Or are you looking for rock?
Anything.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to the Beatles, there's a lot of compilation albums, but I'm saying like the main albums, there's only like 6, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe that. Because I mean, they were only around for 10 years. A lot of people don't know, remember that shit.
Suggest Kendrick Lamar.
Well, I didn't listen through all of No, I listened to a good bit of Kendrick though.
Kendrick,
did you?
Yeah, not every. I didn't go through Kendrick's albums.
To Pimp a Butterfly.
I didn't listen to the whole thing, but I listened to a lot of songs from it. There was a lot of songs in the because what I did with the rap albums is I went through the Spotify. I did this is whatever the artist is. So like I listened to the
okay. To be honest with you, man, all of his albums are like complete projects. Good Kid, Mad City.
Yeah,
is a masterpiece. Like if you listen to it from start to finish, skits including, and the skits aren't long. It's like. You know what I mean? But like skits including, you get the entire picture of what a message he's trying to get across,
Yeah.
And then To Pimp a Butterfly is a whole different animal, but it's the same thing. Like where he's getting a whole message across every single track. There's no accidental songs on that album.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would suggest listening through completely to get the full scope.
How many albums does he have?
Getting something different.
3.
3 studio albums, and then an album of B-sides.
Yeah, Untitled, Unmastered, you don't need to listen to, but it's awesome.
I probably listen to most of them. All right. Oh,
yeah, 3 albums. That's it. And like I said, I would start first song, Good Kid, Mad City, and just let your imagination take you away, because you'll be picture yourself as a kid in Compton, the way he's.
Yeah, he really paints the picture.
Oh, I do. God,
I will say, because I listened through all of Damn, so I mean I'd probably re-listen to it if I did, if I was doing it. I did listen through Damn, and I know like Duckworth. I remember when I first listened to that, like that definitely painted me. Like that's how I could tell. Well, that and Fear. Fear is one of my favorite songs. Yeah, that to me was like, because I heard DNA, which of course was like the hit from the album, but then I heard Fear right after that, and I was like, whoa, this is
like, damn, this is on the same album.
Damn, yeah.
Damn. Oh my god, what year was that? 2017 or 2018?
It was 2016, dude.
Damn was not in 2016.
I think it was.
It was 2017, I think.
I need Kendrick Lamar to release.
Because I think To Pimp was like 2016 or 2015.
Pimp was 2015.
Okay, so Damn was definitely like 2017.
Damn, let's see, 2017. Oh my god,
April 14th. So yeah, it's been
4 years.
4 years.
Hopefully we get a new one here soon.
Interesting. Okay, well, other than Kendrick, because I can fly through that in like 3 days, 2 days maybe.
Man, I would really highly recommend the Beatles, though, to be honest. I mean, that's just me. Another band I would definitely recommend is Queens of the Stone Age.
Queens of the Stone Age. Okay.
Queens of the Stone Age, for sure, dude. That's also one of my favorite bands, just because of how, like the Foo Fighters, they don't really have a bad album.
Okay.
To me, at least. I mean, Queens of the Stone Age, they're not like, I don't know, man. I don't know how to. They're very like stoner rock in a way. I don't know if you ever listen to much. It's very riff based, but they are. I don't want to compare them to the Foo Fighters, but they kind of like they have their own style.
Yeah,
but they're just, man. Josh Homme or Homme, however you pronounce his last name, he's so good at songwriting, man.
Okay,
and like they have a great catalog. Like I know you'll know some of their songs. Like when you listen to them, they have a lot of hits.
I forget which one. Actually,
I mean the biggest one people know is "No One Knows."
I may not know that. Okay, yeah, I know it.
Yeah, I mean that was on Guitar Hero like forever ago. They had a lot of songs on Guitar Hero like 3s and 7s. Go with the Flow.
That's it. Even Flow was them. Okay.
Not Even Flow. Go with the Flow.
Oh, Go with the Flow. Okay. Yeah, I was like,
Even Flow is Pearl Jam.
Okay. Yeah, that didn't sound right.
Definitely Queens of the Stone Age because they're not too heavy. They're not too out there. Mm-hmm. They're great though.
All right, Vernon, give me one more suggestion. Then we'll move on because I got a good segue here.
I was gonna say somebody like.
I know you told me J. Cole.
Yeah, but
I do have one more for you then. Sorry.
I was gonna say like Mac Miller, but I'm sitting here thinking about his albums as a whole. I like Mac as an artist more than I like his albums as a whole.
Well, I could listen. I don't need to listen through all the albums. I just mean because I know Cody really likes Mac Miller, right?
Yeah. I didn't. I remember when I was in high school, I didn't like Mac Miller, and then I went to one of his concerts, and I was like transformed, right? Because he was the best performer. I went to the concert for Wiz Khalifa, and Mac Miller was my favorite performance of the show. Even it was amazing. You know what I mean? So he changed me that day. I was like, so since then I've been like, oh my God, Mac Miller is amazing going forward, and he's just been making great music. And then even at the end there, unfortunately, you know what I mean, he passed. But like this music he was making right before was so much different than the shit he was making when I was in high school. So like it was just to see the transition. He's got Delusional Thomas albums. He's got like an album where he's going under the name Larry Lovestein. He's got a
jazz album.
It's crazy, man. I loved Mac Miller as an artist. It was awesome.
That is awesome, man.
Maybe I'll throw some hits on and just kind of see. Because I don't think I've ever really listened. I may have heard it unknowingly, but I don't think.
I know my recommendation for Mac's going to be different than Vern's. But if you listen to an album by Mac, for me, I would pick. I know it's going to be different from Vern's, but I would listen to Swimming, his 2018 album. Listen to that album, bro. Oh, dude, it's so fucking good. To
Macadelic
Macadelic, yeah, they're completely two set like. Two different kinds of Mac.
Two sides of the same coin. Yeah. But you will get, if that's a good suggestion. Like if you listen to Swimming and Macadelic, you'll get a good gist of it.
You'll get a good gist of who Mac Miller is. Yeah.
Not everything.
Like Macadelic is like, man, it is a whole different beast. He's talking about like.
That shit came out like a month or two before the concert. So like we were listening to it and
then like Swimming, that was like his last album before he actually passed. But bro, he got really like it's so creative. The writing in is amazing. Like it is overall a fantastic album.
Self-Care is one of my favorite Mac Miller songs.
Yeah.
And what's the one?
Ladders is great.
Oh my God! What's the one with trying to think of what it's called here? 2009? No. What's the one where it's like super chill? Like Mac Miller, it's just like, oh God, I can't even fuck. I feel dumb right now. I can't even think. It's just
dude,
like
I know.
The chill is like.
Is it Wings?
It might be.
My wings. Like, dude, that song is like, oh man, that gives me chills thinking about the track. It's so good.
All right.
But yeah.
So I got Kendrick, Mac Miller, The Beatles, Queens of the Stone Age, and
well, yeah, Queens of the Stone Age. I mean, if you're not listening to like straight through, if I was going to recommend, I would listen to Songs for the Deaf. Is probably their greatest album. Is Songs for the Deaf, and then probably Like Clockwork is phenomenal too.
Like Clockwork.
But yeah, it's called Like Clockwork. Is an amazing album as well. Woods
by Mac Miller.
Woods by Mac Miller.
Yes, it's. I can't explain it. Just listen to it, please. It's off of Circles. It's off of the one previous.
Okay. Yeah.
Just listen to, like we were saying, Macadelic and Swimming.
I'm about to listen to that after we get off here.
And listen to Woods, please. Just turn it on, listen to it on your headphones, and just sit back.
Okay.
It's so good, man.
I'll put it on when I'm putting together the episode. How about that?
Okay.
That's kind of like what my last suggestion is here is a band not a lot of people know, and it's called Minus the Bear.
Oh, I do know that you've mentioned that.
One of my, bro, that's one of my top 5 favorite bands as well.
I've talked about them a lot.
I love Minus the Bear, bro. And it sucks. Like the one time I got to see him was on their farewell tour. Which I am so glad I got to see him because I mean, even though it was their farewell tour, they literally the whole concert, they played the hits, the whole show, and like all the songs I love, they played them. So I mean, you really can't go wrong with Minus the Bear. They're like an indie band.
Okay.
So fucking chill. Pretty much any song you can't really go wrong. I mean, on popular releases, if you go on Spotify, like their first 2 albums there are probably the best ones. It's called Menos El Oso. And
that's just Minus the Bear.
Omni's really good, and dude, I mean, I love all their albums as well. They're just so fucking chill.
Okay, all right, that gives me like a month's worth of listening material.
Yeah, man.
So cool. Well, I wanted to say one thing that I've been thinking about. So totally different subject, but it kind of segues with the music here. So I don't know how much you've actually gotten to play it much, Vernon, but I've been playing a lot of the new Pokemon Snap. A lot of it.
I haven't been able to play as much as you and Alex, because you guys both have your own Switches.
Oh yeah, that's right.
My son has a Switch who is so generous to let me play sometimes, where I'm like, Kaka, you care about play Pokemon Snap? Because we did just purchase that for him the other day. But like I told you, pretty sure I've logged more hours into it than he has so far.
Yeah.
And I'm only like maybe 3.5 hours into it. So I'm not very far into it at all.
Me and Alex we've decided, well, not decided, we talked about we're not going past until we've gotten to each level to level 3. Yeah. Which you have to get a lot of pictures to get to level 3. So I actually realized I have to go back to a few levels. But anyway, I was just thinking about how great of a remake that is. Like, that's a game that everyone has been saying that they've been wanting, and it just would never come out. And then they released it, and it's like, it's really good. So I was thinking, what other games? I know we've talked about sequels before, a game that deserves a sequel. But what game or game series or genre or whatever, what deserves a solid? Because Vernon, I know you're playing the Baldur's Gate remake, kind of
just
remake
that
port. I don't know.
It's literally a port with enhanced. It looks nicer. Like it looks really fucking good. To be honest,
polished, like kind of a remaster type thing.
Able to run in 4K and stuff like that. They didn't change any of the UI. They didn't change any of the
It's a remaster, not a remake type.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't even play online. They didn't do any quality of life upgrades. Like
that's
not
like
a single one.
That's how they did like the first. It was like the remaster of the original Resident Evil, where they just kind of made the graphics a little bit nicer, and that's about it.
It's not a bad thing. I don't mind it at all. The feeling I got that first maybe hour of playing it and like going through the dungeons and stuff, and I'm like, oh, like that, just like I've been here before. Oh, yep. Well, watch out, the rats are up here. You know what I mean? Like shit, like I'm playing with my girl for the first time, and I played it like 16 times. So like it was just a great feeling to play that again. Finally.
That was like the feeling I had when I played the remaster, the remaster of like the original Resident Evil, because all they did was like upgrade the graphics a little bit. They maybe just polished them, but it still had the tank controls, the fixed camera angles from the PS1. So I mean, just getting into that and playing it, it's like, oh, it's like it's nostalgic, but it feels so weird.
It's so bad, but it's so good.
It's so bad, but it's so
good.
Where like a zombie's like slowly coming at you down a hallway, and you're like, how the fuck do I aim this gun at them?
Walking backwards.
It's like where you're either holding it straight, or if you hold up, it goes way up, and if you hold down, it points down at the ground, and then you just kind of spin.
They said that they fixed a lot of the combat in the new Mass Effect, which drops this moment. If it does drop at midnight, it drops right now.
Right now,
literally right now.
I've had it sitting there on my PlayStation waiting for me to play for days now.
You had it pre-downloaded?
I've had it because my girl bought me a PlayStation card for my birthday.
I didn't know if you were able to like pre-download it, but you just weren't able to play it. Okay.
It's downloaded. It's chilling.
Nice. Like, you could just hop on and play that shit.
Fucking play this shit right now if I could, you know what I mean? But
like right before everybody got on, I was watching, like, they had IGN posted a video of like the side-by-side comparison of like the original one and the new Mass Effect Legendary, and it looks so fucking good. Like, it looks way better compared to the original.
I can't. Well, the reason I even started talking about this, like, they said they fit, and this is something I never got to experience, but I completely understand where they're coming from other experiences I've had personally. They said the first game's combat was so bad compared to the second and thirds, and they spent a lot of time going back and fixing that.
For like the second and third.
They made the first game's combat more like, which I think is amazing. Like you went back and just like that's a great quality of life improvement.
There's one, like, and it's such a tiny feature in the first one that, like, I don't think it was in the second one, at least it might have been in the third if I can remember. But I wish any other game would have it. In the first game, they have these grenades, and you'll see where you chuck them and they just go straight. And whenever you just press the button again to make it explode, whenever, and it's so fucking useful where you just chuck in them and they just fly, and you could just choose when you want it to blow up as it's going.
It's like a C4, but it's a grenade.
You just chuck it and it just keeps flying, and you just press it whenever you want it to explode. It's so useful.
I can't wait to play this fucking game, man.
But I just watching, like, they had like the first like 5 minutes of it side by side, and I got chills where I'm like, I cannot wait to play Mass Effect again. And I'm even more excited because I know you're playing it, and you love space, you love that kind of shit, and I already love the series, so I can't wait to hear your opinion on them, man.
Oh my god, I know we've talked about this for years in the past, because that's one game that I've always been disappointed that I never got the experience.
And I'm getting excited because I know, like, you're gonna take your time and go through it, and you're gonna finish the first one, and I'm like, and you're gonna be like, oh, I fucking loved it, and I'm like, wait till you play the second one.
And that's what they said. They say the second one
play the second one.
10.
It's a 10 out of 10.
2 is a 10 out of 10. And 10 out of 10. I'm getting the same exciting feeling that I had when I first purchased the PS4 back in the day, right before Uncharted 4 came out. I never played any Uncharted games, so Alex let me borrow, the same of you guys, the Uncharted collection. And I remember getting through the first game, and Alex telling me the first game is a slog, you gotta get through that. But Uncharted 2, fucking masterpiece. So, like, I remember getting through the first one and loving it, and just being like, oh my god, if that was the slog, I can't wait for the fucking masterpiece. Bro, you know, like,
it's so deep, bro. They go into so much depth with everything. There's so much character development through them all, and it's like recurring characters throughout all 3 games too, so you already know these. So, like, there's new characters in the second one, but there's also previous ones from the first one where it's like you're getting to know all these characters throughout all 3 games. Right. And it's so good, man. I'm excited to play them. So I need to actually finish. Like, I need to start busting my ass here on Resident Evil Village so I can go and start playing Mass Effect.
Yeah, man. What other games do you guys want to see remakes of?
Yeah, I just that's kind of what I was just thinking. We're in like this golden age right now where things are getting remastered, remade, re-released, however you want to, not a sequel, but an actual proper remaster. And I feel like there's a lot of games still that deserve it.
For sure. And I mean, Alex isn't here, but I know he would say the exact same thing that I'm going to say. Dino Crisis. Dino Crisis.
Right.
If they remade Dino Crisis the way they remade the Resident Evil 2, where they remade it from the ground up and RE3, it would be a masterpiece and it would sell like 500 million copies. That's an overstatement.
500 million.
But it would sell millions of copies just because that game on PS1, literally, it's if you took the original Resident Evil, like the tank controls and all, put it in a facility and mix and just change the zombies with dinosaurs. That's all it is. It's such a scary game. I remember because they haven't released any new Dino Crisis since the original Xbox was the last one.
Oof.
And it was Dino Crisis 3, and it was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. But bro, it's amazing to me why they haven't remade it, especially now with the success of Resident Evil 2, 3 remakes. Now is the perfect time to do it, and it would sell it would sell so many copies. It would make them so much money. It would be an instant pre-order for me because it was such a scary game. I remember sitting down and playing it on PS1.
Oh, so it's scary. Okay.
Even the terrible ass graphics of the PS1, it was scary. Because I don't know, dinosaurs scare me, bro. If there was one thing that give me nightmares, if dinosaurs were real, it would terrify me, bro. I mean, it's scary.
Zombies are already scary enough as it is, but zombie dinosaurs? Is that what you said?
Not zombie dinosaurs. No, they're just dinosaurs.
Oh, they're just zombie dinosaurs. I thought you said they were zombie dinosaurs.
No, I said replace the zombies with dinosaurs.
I'm like, they're both already kind of bad. So
no. Replace the zombies with dinosaurs.
I got another game, but I want Evan to go first. Because I don't want to steal it if he has it on.
No, you can go because I think I know what it's going to be. Well, I might not know, but go ahead.
No, this is off the wall, but it's in the same vein as Snap Pokemon Stadium.
Yeah, that was my main one. Yeah,
man.
See, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Because it's true though.
I want to see a remake of that.
I would totally.
The first two Pokemon Stadiums were so stupid fun. You and a friend or whatever, you have the infinite roster of Pokemon. You pick them, you battle.
And you battle.
Yeah.
It was perfect. It was the same as Pokemon Snap. They put you on an island, give you a camera.
Take pictures
of the Pokemon. And I'm happy.
Make that shit playable online so I can fucking battle my friends. Oh,
and and if you could just pick the movesets, that would be the only thing. I guess maybe you would need to dumb it down because I know if you were able to change the movesets, because then the competitive people are going to get involved, and then that could ruin it for everyone.
You would need to make it as fair as possible.
You'd be ending up fighting just a team of,
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So.
Yeah, but what's wrong with that?
That's true. If they have, if they made a ranked playlist or something.
That's what I mean. What's wrong with? I would love that shit, bro.
I would too. I love competitive, so
every game I played, there are people that play it at a much higher level than me, and I watch that type of shit to learn from myself. You know what I mean? So I love that shit. Even on this mobile game, me and you were on the Discord all the time trying to learn from the Executioner and all that hero and shit, trying to see teach me like Doctor Strange on the floor, teach me how to, because I want to get good. So I love that shit. And I think you're saying, he had a ranked mode and a casual mode
and then co-op, of course. I
don't even know, maybe even have a capped where I know what you mean.
900 Pokemon now. Imagine Pokemon Stadium, but with 900 Pokemon and with good graphics. They have all the models already made. That's
Mega Evolution shit.
Even bring it all in. Bring in the Z moves and the Dynamax. I want it all. I don't care.
Bring it all.
Bring in the Z moves and the
Bring
Dynamax.
in the trading card game with it. I don't care. Bro, I'll take it.
This is all. I want to get back onto this topic, but this is a little off topic, little tiny tangent. Me and Kyrie have been buying lots of Pokemon cards lately.
Dude,
his
good
mom's
luck.
been buying them.
They've been taking them off the shelves.
I know, trust me.
I can't find.
Listen, I am an active Pokemon card buyer right now. You trying to tell me where I have not seen them in a store for a long ass time. You know where I keep finding them with him? Sheets. There's random fucking pop-up stands with fucking shitloads of Pokemon cards.
Which
in them.
Sheets is this?
This is the Sheets in between Carlisle and Mechanicsburg.
I know. Okay.
And then, so I've seen them at 2 Sheets locations. Okay, but they're not at every Sheets.
Yeah.
I see it's at that Sheets, and then a Sheets up in Lewisburg or Lewistown where my girl lives. There's the same exact.
Dude, I'm going to Lewistown next weekend.
It's up there. It's up there by the bank.
Destiny.
But like anyway, she's been buying them tins, like the tins. You know what I mean?
The tins, dude. The tins are. I was at Walmart yesterday, and the only thing they had were starter decks, which no one wants, and they had. Which, of course, I can't buy it because I was looking for a pack, like just one pack, just to like, blow $4 on. But
just take the edge off of these Pokemon cards.
I haven't opened a pack in like
you can't fucking find
a year, dude. No, but anyway, all they had were like 5 or 6 of like the Galarian Rapidash boxes, and like
the big.
I can't spend $20 right now on Pokemon cards. I would, but I can't.
Like, me and him were looking for books, so we went to Barnes and Nobles. I'm trying to be a good dad, taking Barnes and Nobles, you know what I mean? And sure enough, there's Pokemon cards in there. There's this like box set of like it's like a starter.
Vert's like, man, fuck these books. We got Pokemon cards.
We got books. I made sure we walked out of there with books first, okay? And I was like, let's go look at some books, and and then we'll see and come back. You know what I mean? But like, it was a box set of. A starter, like it had a Mewtwo deck, a Pikachu deck, and a Charizard deck.
Ooh,
but it was like the new shit. You know what I mean? And it was like the board, and it had instructions on how to play. And me and him spent 2 nights, like not 2 nights, but like the first night we learned it, we played. Second night we played without the instructions. So like, but now we're good. But like, I never really back when we were younger,
you didn't actually play the. Yeah,
play the game.
I've only played it a handful of times back in the day.
It's wild.
I'll battle you, Vernon. I don't have new cards though.
Gotta use energy cards.
I don't have new cards.
Energies. Like, you gotta use trainers. He has damage counters now and stuff like that. Like I love it. It's like a board game. We set it all up. And like, cause he has the game board that's like the stadium because it came in the box.
Like the old Yu-Gi-Oh mats. Yeah.
Exactly. But it's like a board, like a
it's an actual board.
Yeah, it's like a Monopoly board.
But we're gonna come over. I'm gonna bring over my Pokemon cards.
Bro,
and we're gonna.
I remember.
I can't though because I don't have the newer ones. So like, all my stuff. No, because the power creep. Like your cards will just be way stronger. The cards.
I just remember.
He has a lot of old ones.
Okay.
I just remember like back whenever we were younger, like just when the original 150 was out, like whenever the like show was still out, I was watching the show. Back like, I had like the big ass box of just like the cards, and then it came with the actual mat and everything. That's where I learned to play, but all the cards was within the first 150. Yeah, and that's all that you had.
Was it the Zapdos one?
Almost all of them. Huh?
Was it the Zapdos box?
I don't remember.
Because I just remember like,
there
was
the
a Zapdos box
itself just had like it was all blue and it just had the Pokeball in the middle and just said Pokemon.
That's the one with the Machamp. I
had the OG box, bro.
That shit's the thing worth like $250,000 now.
No clue where it's at or where any of the cards are. You might have those cards I had in
That's
there.
Just, I think, I have to think about what that might just be the starter kit.
It might, I think it might be.
But it had a first edition Machamp in it. It should have anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I remember that shit. I had that.
That was a great tangent, bro.
It could still be at my dad's. Who knows?
Like the ones that you gave him, bro, he treats them like they're so he treats them so nicely because I tell him I'm like I told him like they're because you gave them to him, so I'm like they're your cards, buddy, but like you gotta realize he gave like they're still in great condition, you know what I mean? Like you see this stuff because he's fully aware of his Mewtwo. Like if it was shadowless, it would be worth a lot more than, you know what I mean? Like he's fully aware of that. Like so he even still he has it in a case, you know what I mean?
Kids nowadays pull cards out of the packs like, man, this could be a PSA 9. Like,
it's crazy.
Like we were pulling them out of packs eating Cheetos. Like,
He's talking about the like centering and shit on him because he watches Leonhardt. You know what I mean? And I'm like,
I can only imagine what my dad had. My dad had. I just remember because he wouldn't ever look at this shit. I just remember every now and then when he would we would always have a spare room and just have extra shit in that closet. And I remember my dad having like a big ass cardboard box full of cards, sports cards, baseball cards, all of it, just full, packed to the brim of cards. Not only that, he's had like bats signed, baseball signed, football sign. Like he would just like, because my dad would always go to auctions and shit. Yeah. So whenever he would see something that's affordable or whatever, he'd be like, I'll scoop that or whatever. But like, man, I can only imagine what he has in there. What like
all it takes is one gem.
Exactly. I'm sure he has something
in that
there,
sea of common trash. It just takes one diamond.
Oh, dude, I'm sure. I'm sure, dude.
Bro, that's why I'm like, I have that binder and it's got that whole sleeve of the Kobe cards.
Yeah.
I'm just chilling on, like, I'm not doing nothing with that binder. I have it zipped up so like no dust or air is getting, like, you know what I mean? Like,
I think my dad had like I think it was like a mini helmet for the Steelers signed by Roethlisberger. I think it's what it was. But I'm like, damn. If you like,
that's probably worth like a couple $100 though.
Hold on to that. Like,
imagine when he retires or something
and shit. Yeah, like wait.
Exactly.
Man, that's crazy. Anyway, that was a great tangent. Anyway, what'd you say? You said we're talking about Pokemon Stadium. Yeah.
That's where we came on to that. I just wanted to let y'all know about
that. Would be amazing.
Pokemon.
I got another one that's kind of in the same genre, and I thought you were going to say this, Vernon. I think the Legacy of Goku series should be remade on the Switch.
Oh my god, dude.
Like, you know,
I didn't even think of that.
Not like a Dragon Ball, like the traditional Dragon Ball game where it's like full 3D motion, but like the sprites and the, you know,
oh my god,
the way that would be moving. That. And on that same note, I think what's deserving of a proper remake would be Dragon Ball Z Sagas, because that was a terrible game, but I feel like it had potential because it was a co-op game. Like you could actually, it was a co-op. You remember it? I think it deserves.
I fully remember that game. Like 100%.
It was like it wasn't open world. The levels were open, so you could explore a little bit. I loved that idea of it, and it was co-op. But the controls were just so garbage.
But we live in a world where we play Kakarot. Okay.
Yeah. Where it's pretty much the whole. Yeah, it's the whole series.
It only went up to the Cell Saga, I think. Sagas did.
Did you play the DLC yet, Evan?
Dude, I haven't played Kakarot yet.
You haven't played Kakarot yet? You have it.
I know I have it. I don't have time to play it, dude.
Dude, oh my god.
I don't have time. The only time I play PlayStation is with you guys on Monday nights. That is the only time I ever play PlayStation.
Oh my
Someday I will have time. I just don't right now.
Next Monday, we all play single-player games and join party chat.
We gotta beat Zombie Army. We're one chapter off.
Yeah, I mean, we'll play the one chapter and then hop off and play whatever.
Yeah, we'll play the one chapter and then we'll go from there. But we don't have to necessarily end the night. But like, you would fucking.
I know I would.
It's so. I know I would. To the DBZ fan, like I love the certain like because it's all it's all game, so there's cutscenes and shit, but certain cutscenes will get to a certain part where it looks like an iconic picture from and it's just like
I've seen how Kakarot actually was faithful to the manga, and I this is like the third time I mentioned it this week. That scene where after Goku thinks he killed Frieza in Kakarot, they don't make him look angry. He actually looks sad like he did in the manga because you know he didn't want to do it, but he had to.
So good, man. And and the cutscenes, just like I remember seeing the Vegito fight in the Boo saga and just being like, "Oh my god!" Like feeling like you actually felt like because you're pretty far in the game by then, you know. But like I actually felt like, holy shit, Vegito is so much stronger than like you know.
Every time they fuse, it just happens to be like they're just so much stronger, and then time runs out.
Yeah,
that's what
something happens.
Well, not Gogeta though. Not in the last movie. He actually got the W. I mean,
but the DLC is really good too, where you unlock God and then God Super Saiyan God, and
they haven't done Ultra Instinct, have they? No,
not in Kakarot. The next DLC is it's Trunks and Gohan. The past, it's the fucking the DLC they're doing is that timeline where you have Teen Trunks.
But Kakarot isn't in that timeline. He's dead.
I don't know. But like, because I bought the season pass, and they have 3 DLCs, and the first 2 were Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan God, and the third one was a surprise, and they've announced it a couple weeks ago. what the third one is now, and it's the.
I guess it makes sense because that's technically it's called Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, right? Or is it? It's not Dragon Ball Kakarot. It's Dragon Ball Z Kakarot.
It's Dragon Ball Z Kakarot.
Okay, because Resurrection F and Battle of Gods are actually like it actually is Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods Resurrection F. So I guess it makes sense they wouldn't include the rest of Super because they're kind of also in Z. Like those movies were considered
too.
Z.
I was wondering why they went straight to the. Interesting.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously they redid them in Super, but when the movies came out, they were under Z because Super
that's a good
didn't exist.
Legacy of Goku 2 and Boo's Fury. I could give a fuck about Legacy of Goku 1 to be honest because it was.
But if it remakes it in the same,
if you make that game play like 2, great.
Yeah,
but
that's what I mean.
It was so bad that I don't ever consider re-downloading that game. Every time I get an emulator, I go straight to and Boo's Fury. It's bad, dude. And that's one of my favorite series.
Yeah. The Frieza Saga, Saiyan and Frieza Saga, they are good. But another kind of trilogy, and I don't know if I mentioned this. I'm pretty sure I have. I think the first 3 Guitar Heroes need a really good remaster and just
release them on one game.
Yeah. And the same.
I feel like they could do that.
I mean, because the first Guitar Hero, I feel like it suffered like most first games. The controls just weren't quite tuned. And by the third one, I'd buy it,
bro. If they released like the original trilogy of Guitar Heroes, I would totally buy that shit.
If they released the original 3 in the theme and the style of Guitar Hero 3, I would be over the moon.
Yeah, that would be amazing. I would love that.
Those first
the only problem I could see with that is they would probably have to go out and get all the licensings for those songs again.
But if they're just technically remasters or re-release, they'd probably just have to do like a re-release.
Because it's a new game, I feel like they would have to renew the licenses for them,
The only way they'd probably be able to get away with that is if it was like a direct port, which would defeat the purpose.
If it was just a remaster, possibly.
I don't know.
I mean, one of the games I was thinking, I know Vern's played it, was The Godfather, bro. The Godfather game. Remake that shit and put it like new graphics and everything.
Dude, I spent so much time playing that.
Remake The Godfather, bro. That game was awesome.
I felt like a mafia boss, like not a mafia coming up through that
literally
shit.
You just play as like a made up character that's going. You have its own story, but it hits pretty much every single beat of The Godfather, like the first movie. Along the way.
And it's so awesome. Good. Even as a little kid, I love that shit.
I
didn't know shit about Godfather.
Exactly. Like now, I feel like I would enjoy it a lot more because The Godfather is one of my favorite movies. Like I love that movie.
That's wild. I mean, we're part of a generation that played the video game before seeing the movie because I saw it at an older age.
Yeah. And I remember like after playing the game or during playing the game, I went to watch the movie. And because I was like, a kid or whatever, The Godfather is a slow movie. Yeah. And that movie is just boring to a kid that's like.
Especially being so old.
Playing a shoot 'em up game or whatever. Yeah. Being so old from the late 70s. Like, it's like, man, it's boring to a kid. But man, it's a great movie. It's a classic. But I feel like I would enjoy the game a lot more.
Yeah,
like if I could play a new version.
What console did it come out on?
It was like PS2 and Xbox 3 and Xbox, and I think they ported it on like 360 too at one point.
Interesting,
like a remaster.
Yeah, but I remember playing it on like original Xbox. Playing that shit. I would also remake Dead to Rights. It was like an old school, like they had like 2 games on PS2 and Xbox. But it was just like
used to play that.
It was like a shoot 'em up. You're like it was like a cliche like cop story, but he had a fucking wolf with him. Like the cop had a wolf, and as you're like running and gunning, you could just sick your wolf on people as you're running and gunning. It was a hard game.
Oh my god!
But there was a game called Manhunt that I used to watch my dad play.
Manhunt, that shit, that was like banned in countries, and that was made by Rockstar.
Because like I wasn't allowed to play that shit, but I was sneaking and watching sometimes.
But Dead to Rights was kind of it wasn't like the typical shoot 'em up because there were sections of it where you actually had to fight hand to hand. So like, there was parts like, man, because I remember like you're a cop for a while, and it's been so long since I played the story, but there's a part where you go to prison and you're like undercover in prison, and you don't have weapons, so you got a fist fight in prison and shit. But like there's parts in the game where like you actually can like jump, and it's like one of the first games that utilize like the slow motion diving as you're shooting type shit and bullet time. But man, that was a really good game at the time. I'm surprised they haven't remade that since.
I feel like most of them are probably, like you said with Guitar Hero, probably a lot of licensing that, they'd have to go redo the whole. You know, well, I mean, a game like that, though, like I could see the Godfather game because, they'd have to go through the whole.
I don't know what studio produced it. Like, I feel like that they should be able to buy the rights.
Yeah, an offshoot game like that, it shouldn't be that hard. I would think it wouldn't be.
I wouldn't think so.
But,
who knows, dude? But, man, there's a lot of good games that should probably.
I know it's getting kind of late here, but I got like one more.
Yeah.
Like, this is. If Alex was here, he would probably really agree with this one as well. But Midnight Club 2.
Ooh, double edition?
No.
Oh,
Midnight Club 2 was like the old John on PS2 with the black cover with like the 3 people on the. Like, I remember that shit was amazing. But Midnight Club Los Angeles dub edition. Okay. That's the one. That shit was incredible, bro. That's like, the one that I was thinking of as well.
Speed Underground 2.
Yes. Yes. But like that was even older, but Dub Edition I think was on 360, where Midnight Club 2 and Underground 2 were a PS2 games. So those are probably better to go with because they're older. But Underground 2, man, the car customization, shit like that. I used to play the shit out of those games when I was younger.
Too. The only 2 I have left are games I've talked about before. Of course, Metal Gear Solid on PS1.
Yeah.
Needs a remake.
The original.
Redo that shit. I'm hoping they do that. And then Tony Hawk's Underground. We talked about that.
We talked about that already.
Yeah. We talked about both.
Oh, wait, no.
We were talking about sequels.
1 and 2. I'm talking about, Underground. And, I mean, we've talked about both those games between Metal Gear.
Underground 2?
Underground 2 eventually, but the first
no, you guys don't like Underground 2 as much as Underground 1. I like Underground 2 more than Underground 1 because
Jackass the game.
Jackass the game.
And I fucking loved that shit when I was younger. I was eating this shit up.
I loved with Underground 2. I always remember when you drop into Barcelona and you just hear Ring of Fire play, and it's just so good.
Yeah, and the
pool is like running by as soon as you.
Right?
What's that?
Had like a New Orleans level, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That was the Mardi Gras level.
Yeah, Mardi Gras.
I actually remember there was a mission in that where you had to go around and have girls flash you. There
was so much crazy stuff in that game.
Oh my god,
that was a crazy game. Oh yeah, both of those, because Underground 1 was really good in terms of like as a skateboarding game. Yeah, that
was the more like realistic skateboarding story.
I like
for somebody.
American Wasteland too.
Yeah,
American Wasteland was really good. Yeah,
I even like Project 8 when that came out. Project 8 was like the first game where it was like next gen graphics and like different styles and stuff.
Project 8 came out, I think, after Skate, so they had to keep up.
Project 8, they came out because you would hit the 2, you would left stick and right stick, and you could control the board with your feet. And then Skate's like, well, we could just do this all the time. And then and then Skate won after that.
Yeah, you had to like in Project 8, you had to like press a button
to activate
it. Would slow down time, and that's when you could just flip the board however you wanted.
And it was so wonky. It was not anything. And then, of course, like Skate.
By the end game, they were like, you need to do this type of combo or whatever. And it's like ridiculous at like towards the end.
It's like you'd think the slow motion would make it easy, but it didn't. Like, because by the time, the thing I hated about it was like if you were doing a kickflip or, something simple, and if you messed up one little bit, you had to watch yourself screw up while it flipped the wrong way.
Like, shit.
Oh, I remember that.
The one thing I specifically remember was just how amazing it looked at the time. Because it was like one of the first ones that came out on 360 and PS3. But man, that game looked really good when it came out, and I was like playing it. It played fine, but that that part was a little wonky, but I thought it was a really good game at the time because it was also not too crazy either. It didn't really go out there with the story and everything.
No, I mean, the stories are always simple. Underground's, though, was just... Underground 1's story in terms of like a skateboarding game is just really good because you feel like I'm just some nobody that's actually making it. Like,
going through competition and then doing like going to different
2
cities.
Is just like you just got randomly kidnapped by Bam Margera and Tony Hawk, and okay, this is what's going
the second. There really wasn't another sequel like the second one. Like that second one,
I loved it.
Actually,
of its own.
Isn't the premise of the second one? Aren't you the character from Underground 1?
And they kidnapped you? I just remember they had 2 different teams. Like it was Tony's team and Bam's team. That like they were fighting, they were doing something. I don't remember what it was.
They were making a video.
Having a competition.
I want to replay that game so bad. I hope they're working on remastering a double pack of those.
The double feature.
Right,
they should, just like they did with the original one. They should do that, like Underground 2 remastered or remade.
Oh my god, there's so many. It was a crazy game. But
people bitch about like no original ideas, but man, when it comes to video games, I think remasters and remakes work. It's not like movies.
Yeah, I mean, especially if they were good games.
Yeah. Because like with movies, if you remake a movie from the 70s movie could still hold up and still be really good. Whereas the game, it's going to be old. The controls are going to be outdated and clunky, I'm sure. I mean, the story's probably good, but it's not going to play as decent. Yeah. Whereas it's kind of more justified with video games.
Update the textures, smooth out the controls. Don't change anything else.
Do you think we get a Skyrim remaster?
Skyrim remaster. Oh my god.
No, they're just going to port it on a PS5 disc. They're going to just ship it in a PS4 disc and say it's a PS5 version.
Probably
and it'll
like
work.
I don't know, man. 2040.
2040. That's what I was thinking, like 2030.
2040, something like that. Something where like the graphics are so crazy good, where it's so like photorealistic, where they could actually upgrade it, you know?
Yeah, it's got people thinking back like, oh, I bet you Skyrim would look amazing on this, you know?
Yeah. And then, you know, at the time, wherever memes are in the future, they'd be like, oh, re-releasing Skyrim for the 200th time.
Here we go
again. And then
it'll be us making the memes, and all the kids will be like, what are they talking about?
What's a meme?
Because then for the next 10 years, they're going to be reporting that new remake of Skyrim to other newer consoles from there on out, too.
To the PS7 and 8.
Yeah, so and by that time they'll remake like GTA 5 or something, or GTA 6 just came out.
Yeah. Anyway, the newest DLC for GTA 6 just came out. At least
DLC
or not DLC, the online whatever.
Like the third version of GTA 6 has come out. Like the third console version of GTA 6 or something. I don't know.
And there's still people playing GTA 5.
Role playing.
Oh man! All right, yeah, we should probably wrap it up here. It is.
Yeah, it was a good episode though.
Yeah, that's good. Hope Alex's tummy is feeling better.
Yeah. Hopefully he'll be back here next week for another episode, a good episode.
Yeah, I got a good one for next week. I wanted to hold it, but yeah, I watched an inspiring YouTube video and I want to share it with you guys. But I got to research a little bit before I go into it. So actual research, because that's how it works. But all right. Thanks for watching, everyone. As we talked about in the beginning of the episode, be sure to watch the last episode of Squad Pod Sports and the last episode of Cinema Trip Reviews that just came out. Stay tuned Monday. We're going to hopefully be beating Zombie Army 4, our first full playthrough of a game.
Hitler. We're going to Hitler.
Yeah, like we said Monday, I think we can all agree that we should all be excited to kill Hitler.
Like Evan said, I'm really excited that we're doing a full playthrough of a single game. We actually beat a game. And we didn't yet, but we're so close.
We're going to.
Like, that's something I'm personally looking forward, because I know we want to get back to Valheim, which I do want to get back to Valheim. But like, I also want to get I want to keep doing this, like playing a game over a couple weeks with you guys, and then we have that online just forever. You know? So
yeah, but yeah, so stay tuned for that. That's going to be awesome. And yeah, just keep on watching. Good things are coming. We're just plugging through with everything and having a blast while we do it. So
absolutely.
So stay tuned for this week. Be sure to hit the like button.
And the subscribe button.
Yeah, subscribe if you haven't already, because
you don't even have to turn notifications on. Just subscribe.
No, don't hit that bell.
No.
Just hit that
don't hit that bell. That's going to be the next t-shirt. Don't hit that bell. Yeah.
Don't give a fuck. Just hit that red button.
So yeah, like, subscribe, leave a comment if you feel like it.
Follow us suck if you think we suck.
Yeah, just let us know anything. If we suck. Let us know. Come on, like we need some feedback.
Any feedback.
Follow us on Twitter. We got Waves 5 Media. I got that changed finally, and then of course Squad Pod Sports has its own Twitter for sports related information and other things. Facebook, obviously, that's where a lot of our stuff gets posted. And yeah, just thanks for watching and stay tuned for more.
See you next week.
See you next week.
What?